Okay, today is the 21st October 2025. Crazy Market Talk with KEL. Crazy anytime, anywhere. All right, so how do we do this every time, right? First of all, we will look through the general market. Today, I got something very important to share with you so that you must listen to me on the market outlook. Then after that, we'll look into the technical side. Okay, so this session is about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, let's go. Now, before that itself, disclaimer apply as usual. Please understand this. Please do your risk management before engaging into the market. Yeah. Okay, so this is done. So let's look at the fundamental of the market first to begin this morning. Now, first of all, the US market actually went up by 500 points last night as Apple revived the stock rally. Morning to you, Trump. Okay, so what happened is that Apple basically went up. Now, why Apple shares went up? Because apparently the Apple 17 got a better response in China than previous. So apparently about 14% more people buy this iPhone 17 from versus iPhone 16. So there is some buying on app. And of course, we also know that there is a possible end to the US government shutdown, which is actually the one that's holding the market. So the good thing is that if the US government shutdown start to take place, as in they have to remove it, and of course the market will be higher. On the flip side, the thing is this: there will be a lot of people have lost their income, right? So there will be some problem for those people who lost their income for the last 20 days. Yeah. So now the thing is this, that's the reason why, in order to make everybody happy, they pump up the stock market, and that's a very typical thing that US always do during crisis period. Okay. So now the thing is this, they feel that now the White House will likely implement something harsh to actually get the Democrats to accept the deal so that they can actually end the government shutdown. Okay. Now, we all know that the current issue now is that US and China, there is some tension ongoing. And also there is some regional bank losses that is a little bit higher than expected. And of course, there is some decline in some of the AI companies, right? But still, end of the day, the earnings now at the moment is still the one holding up, and everybody expect that the US Federal Reserve to cut interest rate very soon in the late October period. So with all this information ongoing right now, let's look at something interesting. Now, Japan Nikkei has continued to hit all-time high because of the Takaichi. She's going to be the next prime minister, and we all know that everybody's quite bullish with that. And of course, we also know that the Warren Buffett had been buying these Japanese shares, and he's very confident that these companies will all do well. And we also know that the Nikkei index is reaching the 50,000 level. My goodness. Okay. So everybody just buying and buying and buying like relentlessly. But it's very interesting to see that people are not caring about what is happening around the world. Now, the China economy grew by 4.8% in the third quarter as expected, but investment sees rare and alarming drop. So one thing to note is that the GDP expanded by 4.8% is a slowdown from the 5.2% in second quarter. Now there are a lot of people saying that no, couldn't be, it should be lower. But of course, this is the official number, so we have to believe whatever we see online. All right. And of course, if the market wants to buy on this fact, then we have to follow through. Okay. Now there's something interesting in China at the moment. If you actually follow the news, apparently it's right. Okay. There's a lot of generals from different departments in China has been removed from their position. And primary itself, these people are from the Xi Jinping side. So we all know that the Chinese government will have a bit of shaking very soon, because it's time for Xi Jinping to continue as the premier, or actually he will be stepping down. So there's a lot ongoing, rumors ongoing, but to have 9 generals of different department being released from their position at this period of time is really very concerning. All right, now one thing to note is that everyone been asking me what's my view on gold at the moment. So let's take a look on the technical side, yeah, on the technical side. Okay, hold on. Okay, so the thing is this, I already warned you guys that when the dollar actually comes up down to this point, 98.50, I mean, sorry, about 98 level, right? That is where the market touched the moving average for the dollar. I told you that once the dollar touches the support level in the moving average, there will be a bit of pullback. So last few days ago, we saw gold coming down from the high price all the way pullback by more than $100 before it actually rebounded. So that was why I tell everyone to be very careful on gold about 2 days ago. Okay, so now let's take a look at this one in a bigger view. Now, what is very interesting is this, everyone. Let's take a look here. Right, the one in the bottom is the US dollar. The one on top is gold. So just let you know, for example, this is gold price. And this is the dollar. Okay, so the thing is this. We all know that the Federal Reserve will cut interest rate. We also know that the Federal Reserve have been pumping money through one way or another, and that's the reason why the stock market is being held up. So the question is this. The very strong support of the US dollar is at 96.50, right? But now gold price, okay, is at 4,368 around there. Yeah, this is a cash market. Now, the dollar now is only at 98.50. Now it's 98.50. So 98.50 is here. So the question is this. If the dollar really come down to 96.50, how high can gold go? So based on this simple mathematics, okay, I have done my maths already. So that means that if the dollar really comes down to 96.50, gold can go all the way up to 45.60. Okay, that means that if the dollar is to come down to 96.50, the gold price can go all the way to 45.60. Now, this is just basically based on mathematics to show you how and what could happen. Okay, it's not that it will happen, but if you ask me mathematically, it is actually possible. Yeah, so that's the reason why I'm sharing with you this right now. Yeah. Okay. So for people who are trying to short gold, I will give you a very good advice to be very, very careful, especially when the market stays above OP, you don't short gold. If you want to short gold, make sure you're selling when it's below OP. Then at least you may have a safety net there. All right, all clear? If all clear, press number 1 right now. We have more than 50 people online today. That's very good to see. Excellent. Now, I know that some of you may not understand English, but you're still here to support me. I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. All right. So let's look into something very interesting. It's those articles that usually I follow because they are quite objective. They do talk about the negative side of the market most of the time, but that is the reality of what's happening. So let's take a look. This is my Twitter account. If you want to follow me on Twitter, just go to crazii.com and then you can follow me from there. Yeah. Twitter means X. Yeah. Okay, so one thing to note, the last time the existing home sales were bad was in 1998 and year 2008. So which means that after the market crisis in 1997 and 2007, home sale price usually will be affected. And you can see right now, as of today, okay, this is the worst time back in 1998. This is the worst time back in 2008. And while the stock market now is at record level high, we have the housing at the low level. So which means that actually the US economy is not doing very well. Everybody is now suffering. I saw an article whereby this is called GoFundMe. I'll write that article for you. This is actually a platform for people to come together to do crowdfunding to basically for business. Now in US, it comes to a point whereby people are crowdfunding to survive. That means that they run out of money, they need to eat, so they go online to ask people for help. Yes, through crowdfunding to eat, so that later on they can render their service one way or another to whoever crowdfund them. Because the US price right now, the inflation is really getting up. Because the dollar goes down, once the dollar goes down, the inflation will go up. This is economic 101. And when that happens, and you do not have the type of money to go and spend, and that is where the issue. But of course, some people argue this point, but KEL, the stock market is at high level, so why the Americans are not enjoying? Now, it's a very simple logic here. Not everybody invests in the stock market. So which means that maybe every 20 people, maybe 1 or 2 people invest in the stock market. So the remaining 18 people will have to suffer. So the 2% who invest in the stock market also highly depending on what they invest. Now, if they invest in the AI companies, they invest in the technology company, they will benefit. But if they invest in something like the traditional companies, where the dividend is not paying, where the company shares coming down, then that we have an issue, yeah. So this is something that you can take a look, yeah. Okay, you go to my x.com or twitter.com to find me under crazii.com. Okay, wanna skip this guy. Okay, one thing to note is right, we can see right now, okay, the companies that are producing the negative earnings have apparently outperformed those who have positive earnings. Now, in short, that means that two type of companies that are doing well, the stock price is not moving. But a company not doing well, apparently the stock price is doing higher. So why is it so? It's really depending on what type of business are we looking at. Like AI itself is not going to bring in money, but because of AI, it has a fat. So everybody buys the stock itself, right? Because of this, what they call buying it as a form of a trend, not buying because of investment. All right, so this is again a very, very dangerous thing to do. So as you can see right now, using the Russell 2000, the companies have a trailing EPS, which is earning per share. And out of that itself, 1,120 companies have positive EPS, while 806 have negative EPS. But yet, interestingly, the 806 companies are doing better in the stock price. Now, we all know that Jerome Powell a few weeks ago has mentioned that the equity price is fairly highly valued. In English term means overbought. But again, we saw the market going up regardless, yeah? We also know that now the current situation is that the buffer indicator, we are now at 200% level, but the market is still buying. So why is that so, right? I explain to you very shortly, right? And because of that itself, gold price has been going up because now more than, apparently now, right, the gold now, right, account for 20% of the global central bank reserve. This is the highest level since the last 3 decades. So which means that now central bank have been buying many gold because they know that the US dollar will go down. So because of that, they quickly basically use their dollar that they have to buy gold as a form of a hedge. Because the banks do keep reserve, right? But the dollar that they keep in their reserve is basically depreciating in value, right? You remember this? I told you, right? The dollar now is depreciating in value. The dollar overall, since you take a look, since the start of the year, itself, right, the dollar was at approximately 108. Now the dollar is back to 98, so down by 10 pips or 10%. So that is the reason why everybody buy gold as a form of a hedge. Okay, and this is the reason. So apparently, okay, the Federal Reserve has been pumping money into the banking system. The self-correcting facility reveals that the real-time cracks in the banking system, in total, in 4 weeks, $15 billion of funds came into the market, and that is why we saw the stock market going up. So the Federal Reserve quietly put in money to the banking system to hold the market. And when you do that itself, right, you will definitely pick the dollar lower, and you will actually cause people to suffer. But at the same time, because of the money coming in, it has to be used. So that's why you can see the stock market going up. All right, now let's look at the final article here before we go to the technical side. This is the VIX. Now I want to show you something very interesting here, which I saw this morning. Okay, So this is the start of the week, the VIX going up, right? And then about 149 days, apparently it's like a cycle. So that is where I predicted that it will be another 149 days. And truth be told, after that itself, the market really, really shoot up. So it's exactly what I planned and expected. Now, there's something more than that. Everyone take a look. Do you notice that after the start of cycle, there will be the first wave, right? Can you see that? It always happens in this case. So now what will happen next is that after it touches the moving average, there will be another wave. So I suspect that there will be another wave coming in. And when that happens again, you will have the stock market coming down and you will have the gold prices going crazy. So this can happen. Now, I don't know which day would that be, but based on this whole thing, I think maybe within the next 2 weeks. Within the next 2 weeks, we're going to see the market behaving crazy. So guys, this is VIX, yeah? VIX is the volatility index, okay? That is, you can go and Google it under VIX. All right, the VIX index, okay? So I suspect that there will be big movement coming in the near term, okay? So all traders clear? If all clear, press number 2 right now before we go into the charts, yeah? Press number 2 right now. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so now we're done the fundamental and the news, the global market. Let's look into the charts that you're waiting for, yeah? Okay, so first of all, the Dow Jones. Now, the Dow Jones basically was down that day, and then after that, immediately it recovered with a gap up, and then after that, the market basically went up high. And then after that, there was some pullback. But the last 2 days, the market recovered. Now, one thing to note, guys, is that the market recovered is correct, but the KSI retain rate. So what can happen? Now, this is called the elephant trade setup where price goes up, but the KSI is red. So there's two ideas here. One, if the KSI turns to green, the Dow will shoot all the way to 47,000, if you ask me. Okay, so if that actually happens when the KSI turns to green and the market is a yellow candle, there's a very high chance the Dow can go to 47,000, all right, 47,000. So that is the positive side. Now, on the negative side, the Dow Jones for today is at 46,757. We do have the KSI in red. All right, so what should we do? Okay, so very simple. If the market stays above 46,757, then very high chance it will go up. But if it stays down instead, the first support it will be doing will be the pivot 2 level at 46,558 with the MLP pretty nearby as a stack at 46,530. And if that too happen, this is where I think the Dow will stay for a while. Okay. Now, if the market do break the MLP, all right, then the selling can bring it down all the way to the MA30 at 46,309. Okay. So traders, watch out for this. It's not too far away. It's 400 points. But again, that is depending on how you see it. Yeah. Okay, so this one, traders, please take note of that. If the market do come down, there is a possibility to see the MA30 being traded. Now, I personally feel that, right, we shouldn't be chasing the market. Second, the KSI is green. Third, I think that if you want to buy, just buy OP and target KTR +1 and you end there. That's how I see it on the market, yeah? Now, one thing to note, usually, if there's going to be any reversal downwards in the market, usually the day beforehand, the market will close at the day high, which we just saw it last night. Okay, so all these are the signs that things can actually happen. Okay, so trader, please watch out for the Dow Jones. Okay, now I think everybody is waiting for me to show gold, right? So let's look at gold right now. Yeah. Oh, okay. 1 minute. Dow Jones, yeah. If the Dow Jones is to go up, the Dow Jones can go 47,200. But that is for today, okay? So tomorrow can change, yeah? So if you want me to give you a specific, I written in the Zalo group chat already, the KTR +1 and KTR +2 is written in the group chat. Please take a look over there as well, okay? So Hana, okay, yeah? Okay, let's continue to go. It's good to see people coming forward to learn and accept to pay more market, yeah? Okay. Now this is gold price, and you can see gold today, the opening price is 43.55 and the MLP is 43.04. So as long as the market is above OP and it's a yellow candle and it's above the MLP, it's always a good buy, okay? All right, so in a buy in the market, you have to see the KSI, which is green. So everything is good. Above OP, yellow candle, KSI green, MLP below you, big buy. All right, so basically it's a very good time to buy some gold. So let's see what happened on the 5-minute chart so we can understand what actually happened. All right, this morning in the 5-minute chart, a lot of things have happened. Let's take a look first. The first of all, at the start of the morning, the market opens here at 43.55. Very fast, very dramatic. It basically went to the near to KTR +1, very nearby. Okay, but after that it retraced a little bit back to here, and that was the only opportunity for you to buy into the gold market, because after that, within 5 minutes, gold triggered the target level and stopped there. So again and again, we have proven to you that our KTR, KTR1, KTR2 is so good. It's that as if that the market actually know us. So think about this right now this morning. If you were to trade, you will buy somewhere around here or somewhere around here, and then at KTR +1, you actually take profit. Okay, so now the market has already hit KTR +1. Do I want to buy here again to target here, or buy here to target here? I will say no. Why? Because from now, from OP to KTR +1 has been done. So moving at the back here itself, usually the market will go sideways. Okay, of course, maybe once in a while it may move, yeah? So when the market basically opens and hit KTR very early, the upside here is really redundant already. Just for sake of doing it, maybe. All right. So when I basically, if I buy here and I take profit over here, the remaining position here itself, right? Even there's diamonds, the KCX, or whatever it is, I won't follow until the market go past KTR +1, and then it'll be a new level together, then go for it. Yeah. Now, personally, I do have a sell order on the gold price, which means that if gold later on do break below the OP, all right? If gold do break below OP, there is a very high chance that gold can come down to 43.38. Okay, the reason why I shift the number a little bit is because the TP level is 43.37.96. So I don't think we need to put so nearby. 43.38 is good. If you want to be a bit safer, 43.39 will be even better. All right, so that is if the gold price breaks below OP, yeah? Okay, all right, all clear? So upside-wise, if the gold goes up, the upside will be here. I told you, right, that is the pivot one, and that is actually at 43.82, okay? So it's 43.82, okay? So traders, watch out for this. The gold is coming down at the moment, and we have a bit of KSI turning red right now. We will see how it goes. If you are comfortable, we will possibly see the numbers that I mentioned, but if you're not comfortable, you can take any price you want, yeah? Okay, so for me itself, we stick to the principle of trading. We will follow the rules and trade accordingly, okay? Okay, so that is the gold price for today. I'll talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum and Forex pair to wrap it up. Okay, so let's look at the Bitcoin, all right? Now for Bitcoin, I usually more look at the day chart than look at the 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart is too erratic, yeah? So for those people who like in out, that's good for you. So for me, I don't have the time. So today's the Bitcoin is at opening price 111,090, but yet now it's trading at 110,121. So which very simply tell you that the market is below OP. Now, how do we know that the market is below OP without checking the numbers? Look at the KCB. If the KCB is at the bottom, that means that the market is now below OP. If you see the KCB numbers on top, that means that the market already know that the upside potential is where. Okay, so that's something that you can take note of. So the thing is that for today, Bitcoin now, the current price is below OP. That's why the KCB is at the bottom. Okay, let's take a look right now. Now, the Bitcoin has to stay above MLP at 109,964. It has to stay above the MLP. If the Bitcoin breaks MLP and recover, that's a good sign to buy. But if the market breaks MLP and continue to sell, then there's a very high chance the KCB will be triggered. Now, one thing you may ask, how come the price goes up, the KSI is green? So I told you again, it's all solitary depending on the big boys, yeah? So the big boy is trying to accumulate, but the price is going up. So maybe later on, there's been some catalyst, and then after that, the Bitcoin may go up. I don't know, okay? So this one is to watch out for in the trading market, yeah? When the market is up, do follow, consider to use what I share with you, yeah? Okay, so that is the Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum. Now, for Ethereum, today it's a bit different, yeah? Ethereum today is a doji directional day. Now, what's DJDD? DJDD means it's doji directional day. That means the day before is doji, right? Can you see? Doji, yeah? Directional day means the market likely will go all the way up or all the way down. It's a choice. Okay, but for me, it's very simple. Follow the OP rule. If the market stay below OP, we sell. If the market stay above OP, we buy. As simple as that, yeah? So on this case right now, as you can see, the market now is hovering at the pivot 2 at 39.49 area. Now the KSI is definitely red, so which means that I can boldly say if the Ethereum breaks down, there's a very high chance it will go down to the MA 200 level at 37.48. Now, of course, this is a targeted level that the market can go. So we will we'll see whether does this actually really happen. Okay, so 37.48 will be the target for Ethereum. So watch out for these guys. At the moment now, it does seem that it's trying to hold above the pivot 2, and if the market breaks below pivot 2, that will be some selling on the Ethereum. Okay, all clear? If all clear, press number 3 right now before we look into Forex. And then after that, we will end the session, yeah? Oh, currently now I'm in Vietnam. Yeah, I'm in Vietnam now. I've been traveling a lot, Indonesia, Cambodia, to move around to give road shows around, yeah? And I believe that by December, late December, we should be able to have a lot of people using the Crazii system. And what does it benefit? Well, you should know what's called demand and supply, yeah? Okay, let's look at the currency market a bit a while. Now, this is the euro. Okay, now everyone look at the euro and look how powerful is our indicator. So euro, as you can see, the price was up, all right? From 116, it went up to the high of 117.50s to 60s. Now, for a euro to go up by this much is normal. I mean, but what happened to the indicator? Our indicator stayed red instead for the KSI. And when you do see this like this happening, it's a matter of time. The market will always pull back to where it started. Okay, so now everyone take a look here yourself. Now this is the euro again, going up from 115 this time around to 117, right? So it's up at 200 pips. But the KSI, oh my God, it's a repeating of what happened. The only difference is back then, this KSI, the length of every bar is long, but this time around it's retreating a little bit. So it's still red, but just that maybe the selling is not as strong. Okay, so now what should we do? Okay, so first of all, right, we must understand it's still the same. If the market breaks down, okay, below OP, below MLP, color is red, then there's a very high chance the euro currency will come down here again. All right, so that is an interesting point. When the market goes up, usually stochastic, Bollinger Band, MACD are all pointing up. But why our system is red color? That is why it's intriguing. Yeah. So for that, now why can bring the euro down? Its only reason is because the dollar appreciate in value. So if the dollar appreciate in value, that means gold price will actually fall. So now you understand why it's out today. I want to share this with you is that you must have to watch the dollar very closely. If the dollar continue to rally and the currency around that is all going against the dollar, if they rise, then of course your thing you will get what do you call the down selling in the market. Yeah. Okay, so that is the Bitcoin and that's Ethereum, and I think I covered almost excuse me everything. Maybe I just give one more. It's the oil. All right, now guys, I told you that day when the oil price was going upwards, be very careful. The boys were selling, so the market really the next few days smashed down. Now, when the oil goes down, it means that the economy usually is not as vibrant as it used to be. So apparently, this guy now, where can it go? I am not too sure because we have not, this is very clear that if you ask me, there is a very strong support here itself, these 2 points. And if you remember that these 2 points, the time, yes, you want okay, wait a minute, there's something wrong over here. Okay, never mind. Okay, let's take this one first. Never mind. Okay, so you see over here, right? Every time when the crude oil come down to about $55, then there'll be a rebound. So where are we right now? We are 57. So the thing is this, maybe when if the US crude oil go down to $55, then maybe we'll buy again. But now at 57, it's considered still expensive. All right, so do take note of that. Now, one thing to note, if you look carefully, this KSI itself has been down over here. So it's been down for many days. So I just believe that there is still a room for further downside to $55. Okay, guys, thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed this session. So if any more questions that you need to ask me regarding our money market, you can ask me in the separate group chat. My other team members are always there to assist you, all right? So guys, thank you once again for coming in. It has been my pleasure, and thank you so much, guys, for coming in to listen to me, all right? So I hope you guys enjoy the session. This count turning off. Okay, see you then. Bye-bye.